Alright, now for comparison number 2. None other than everyone's favorite cub, Brother Bear. Now I'm sure a lot of people like Sister, and I'll get into it in a little bit too. But Brother Bear's difference between the PBS series and the Big Chapter Book series is not that much of a difference. I mean, he's still the same cub every way, in each way, even in the first time book series. But there's a difference. There is a huge, huge difference. See, Brother actually has a love interest in the Big Chapter Book series. In the PBS series, he doesn't have any love interest. Well, of course, that's because the PBS series is aimed towards a younger audience. But the truth is, he doesn't have no love interest. Now, if you look back in the '85 series, he did sort of have a love interest in Honey Bear. But that was it. That was it. That's all. That's the only love interest he ever had. And true, it's kind of hinted every now and then in the first time book series that he might have some girls interested in him. But in the Big Chapter Book series, Brother Bear does have a love interest, as I mentioned earlier, in Bonnie Brown. But as I mentioned earlier, Bonnie is actually seen as Brother's best friend. The only reason she's seen as a love interest is because, as mentioned in the Bermuda Triangle, there is just enough romantic feeling between the two as best friends that cause some jealousy. For example, it's in here somewhere, if I can find it. If not, I apologize. But there's a story called The Big Day. And like I said, if I can't find it, I apologize. It's sort of buried. I got these all organized. But unfortunately, I can't find it. But anyway, The Big Day, basically, what happens in this book is Bonnie is set up on a date with another rich cub. Now, she doesn't really want to go on this date, but she does it anyway out of respect for her parents and her uncle and her aunt. Brother finds out about this. Brother doesn't like it at all because of the fact that she's going out with another cub besides him. Now, Brother goes as far as to kind of teaming with Too Tall to pull a prank on this rich cub. But unfortunately, the prank backfires, and the prank ends up on Bonnie, kind of severing, kind of injuring that relationship at first. But later on, they do make up when Bonnie finds out that the cub she's dating actually just likes to be like her. You know, like a normal cub, nothing to do with richness or anything like that. So in the end of The Big Date, Brother and Bonnie's friendship still stays intact. But just like this was a sequel to this, it's also sort of a sequel to the, well, it's sort of a sequel, if you will, or I guess you could say a different version of The Big Date. Because in this version, it's Bonnie that gets jealous and not Brother. Because Bonnie, like I said, has never been jealous of anything in her life until the Bermuda thing happened. But anyway, I'll get into Bonnie later on. But anyway, that's just the same thing as in The Big Date. And the same thing could be said in the story right here called Gotta Dance. In Gotta Dance, Brother gets a little upset at the fact that he doesn't know how to dance yet. And that he wants to, and that deep down he wants to learn to dance. He wants to learn to dance so he can go to the spring dance with Bonnie. But there's a rumor going around. A rumor that Bonnie might be going with Too Tall. But we find out that that rumor is actually false. We find out that Bonnie made that rumor up so that it would probably encourage Brother to start dancing so she can go with him. But unfortunately, it's backfired. But Bonnie's very understanding of this, by saying she'd rather give up being named the best dancer in the dance and instead go out with Brother to the mall, to a movie, or whatever. So in the end, it does encourage brother to take up ballet lessons, if you will, as well as learning in secret with the ballet teacher, the latest pop moves. You get what I'm saying? So in the end, brother and Bonnie do end up both winning prizes at the dance for the dances, original and solo. But what does this have to do with brother? Well, like I said, this book shows that he has a little bit of jealousy because he's jealous of the fact that he believes that if he doesn't know how to learn to dance, Bonnie will go with Too Tall and she'll probably end up being with Too Tall as a girlfriend. That's the jealousy part. He doesn't want to see that happen. See, Brother's character, compared to his PBS series, is that when it comes to girls, especially someone like a Bonnie Brown, he doesn't want to see her with anybody else but him. That's how he sees it. That's basically how he sees it, and that's how she sees it. But there's another thing about Brother that's different in comparison to the PBS series. And it's got to do with this story, Gotta Dance. You see, in the PBS edition of Gotta Dance, and their loosely adapted story, it's not Bonnie Brother has to dance with. No. It's actually Mama Bear. That's right, it's Mama he's got to dance with. See, Mama and Papa basically have a tradition of starting out, I can't remember what it is, something like an annual fall festival or something like that, with the dance routine. Now, Papa gets too busy and gets so caught up and busy setting up the set that he barely has time to practice with Mama. So both him and Mama come up with an idea. They both ask Brother, hey look, since Papa's got to work on the set and won't have that much time, can you, Brother, at least help me, Mama Bear, continue to practice? Because she needs a partner. And since Papa's already got it down pat, she just needs somebody to help her practice. So Brother, reluctantly, who says he doesn't know how to dance, just like in this book, says, okay, fine, I'll do it. And finds out that he ends up enjoying it. All because the dance moves that Mama is teaching him are actually very similar to sports moves. Like hockey, swimming, hitting, you name it. So he ends up enjoying it. And then the night of the dance festival, or whatever it is, comes up, and everybody's ready to go. Papa's just put the finishing touches on the set, and just as he's ready to go out there with Mama, guess what happens? Well, you're close on probably what you're thinking. But what happens is Papa actually gets a board stuck to his foot here. That's right, he gets a board stuck to his foot, so he can't go out and dance. So what happens? Mama has to basically go out and basically decides that she has to go out and tell the people that her and Papa aren't going to do the annual dance. But, ta-da! Here comes Brother, I guess you could say, to the rescue. Brother, feeling as though his mama taught him so much about dancing and not giving up, that he decides, no, Mama, you're going to do this dance, and I'm going to do it with you. So basically, Brother takes Papa's place in the dance. And how's that loosely adapted off of this? Well, there's many loose adaptations of it. One, the teacher here, who is known as Miss Berenstain, I guess you can say, Madame Berenstain, takes the place of Mama in the book. In the book, she agrees to teach Brother the latest pop moves if he will agree to be in the recital. And the reason she wants to teach him she agrees to do this? So just like Mama needed Brother to be there for her, he can learn the latest dance moves to dance with Bonnie in time for the spring dance. But as far as comparisons go, like I say, overall, Brother's still the same character and everything, with a few exceptions. And next up, we're going to talk about, well, let's talk about Sister Bear, shall we?